Welcome everyone, and let's play Sentinels of the Multiverse. Now, this is a game that I've been playing on and off for the last little while. It's a great game for single player, it's a great game for friends, and with this game, once you have it, there's so much you can do. There are a lot of expansions, DLCs, things like that. But typically speaking, you don't need them to have a good time. You just need them for the extra little bits. If you're not familiar with this game, I'm going to go ahead and explain it. It's just a game where you're going to set up exactly who you are as a superhero team. As you can see, I have quite a few superheroes available. Now, unlike most deck building games that I've been playing, you are not going to construct your deck on the go. Instead, you're going to construct your team of heroes. So it is still in that genre, but just barely. And I could understand if many people wouldn't agree that it is. And next, we have the villains. Each villain offers a unique experience with several rules. If you are following along electronically versus the physical edition, you can just check out their rules by right-clicking on any of the characters. These characters really do vary, and right now I have them ordered to complexity. As you can see, they go up to difficulty 4. Now, this is an interesting game in that I think it falls to the same tactics that, say, Dungeons and Dragons Edition 4 had, where the individual heroes you have aren't so important as the total makeup of the team. Now, just about anyone can defeat these lower level villains, but as you get to the higher villains, what you're going to be seeing is a lot of teamwork is necessary to make sure that everything is going strong. So you're going to want heroes to support themselves, and finally, heroes are going to be fighting in a randomized event deck. Now, the event deck happens once per round, and a card will come out that may help you. More likely than not, it will play against you. And again, I have them ordered in complexity, but not difficulty. For instance, this is considered one of the easiest event decks to play, but it's right next to one that is very brutal, but very simple. So if you are playing this, there are a few things you can do. With that, what I'm going to set up is a very simple one. We're going to go ahead and do our good old friend, the Baron Blade. With Baron Blade, you ultimately have a hero with a countdown that is going to ultimately need to have his devices destroyed. They're going to come into play. We're going to burn them down, and then we'll be okay. The next ones we're going to set up our team, and for this team, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Now, there are several choices to pick from. I have not been all of them very much, but one of the things I'm going to do is do this alternate version of the team lead, or of Tachyon, which is team leader Tachyon. This is one of the most powerful abilities in the game, and with that, what it ensures is that every character receives an extra draw. There are a few heroes in this that do not benefit from this. They just don't, but for the vast majority of the heroes, they will benefit from the drawing of cards. They will benefit from making sure that they have the tools and utilities they need. Next up, we are going to include the Argent Adept. Now, Argent Adept is one of the most difficult characters to master, and he exists not in and of himself to defeat the villain, but he exists primarily as a support character. We're actually going to go ahead and use this version. It allows him to use accompany versions of his tech or of his cards, and that is going to really play into a couple of great things that'll happen. Next, we're gonna probably add in Who would I like to see added in? Um, we're going to add in the Idealist because this team up is absolutely amazing. And then we're going to... Do I want to do Skyscraper? Skyscraper's fun. So is Akash Thriya. I apologize if I've mispronounced that name. I never know how to pronounce that name. Stuntman is an absolute blast to play. And we could just enter in with these 3 heroes. But instead... No, I'm going to go ahead and just do these 3 heroes and see how they work. I'm going to play the Argent Adept as our last character as a coverall. And then we may as well go to the Baron's own home turf and fight it out there. Tremble fools, the moon grows closer with your every breath. We're running out of time. Keep together, team. We can make this work. Okay. So, we have quite an interesting team up. Now, Idealist, there's another character that you can work with this that really fits well as well, and that is Unity. I have more experience with the Idealist, but we're going to see what we can do. So, as I said, every hero has their own pre-constructed deck. You're just working on making sure that all of your heroes are, in fact, together and building the right team. So right now, we have a few cards: Blinding Speed, destroy 1 environment or 1 ongoing card. That can actually help us right now, because he has Backlash Field. The first time Baron Blade is dealt damage by a target each turn, he deals that one or 3 damage. We do have a Fleet of Foot. Each player may draw a card. You may play a card, and that is amazing. You may play 2 cards now, and destroy one or destroy 1 target with 2 or fewer HP. Not the most useful, but Tachyon works with this tagline called Burst, that if she has Burst in her graveyard or discard pile, that's going to be more and more effective. So let's go ahead. We're going to do Fleet of Foot. Everyone gets to draw a card. Very nice. And then I am going to do our one-shot burst to destroy the ongoing card. Now, the thing about this game is, if there's only 1 target, it is going to auto-target for you. So, we haven't done any damage, and one thing that we need, this is a card that Baron always starts with, is his Force Field. We need to destroy that, because what's going on, this is going to prevent any damage to Baron Blade. And unlike damage reduction, where certain things can get around it, you really can't get around of immune to damage. Now, Unity is one of the more complex heroes. What she does is she places things into play, and then, or called concepts. Concepts are special powers. Destroy all cards under this. For example, the Idealist deals 1 target X melee damage and X psychic damage, where X is the number of cards destroyed this way plus 1. And so this is something we can do every turn to damage if we want to, but how you get cards under concepts with the Idealist is little fragments. They're fragments of ideas. So in this case, the Idealist deals 1 target 3 sonic damage and puts this card under a concept in play. So Idealist is all about build up and big payoff. Let's go ahead though and use her normal power. Draw a card. You may put a fragment from your hand under a concept in play. So you can be putting, under normal circumstances, 2 concepts in play under the... Or excuse me, 2 fragments in play under those concepts. Now, this is a bit interesting. I don't have any cards that actually are instruments. Instruments are how the Argent Adept really takes off. But because we've chosen this type, we're going to not only put the bottom card of our deck into play, which every time we play a card with Argent Adept, it's typically a good thing. we're going to make sure that we activate an accompany text. Accompany texts are musical texts that appear alongside perform. So in this case, one player may draw one card now. If I were to do that, under the not that. Under this one, you may use a power now if you do destroy this card. And under this one, the Argent Adept deals one target, one sonic damage. In this case, though, I'm going to probably play this. This lets us take 5 cards. We're going to play one card, put one card in our hand, one card on top of the deck, one card in the bottom, and one card in the discard pile. So I'm going to put this instrument in our hand. I am going to put this melody on top of the deck. I am going to put this on the bottom. I'm going to put this in our trash. And I'm going to play this, and that's going to allow us to get another instrument out. Now, we're looking for specific musical text, so we're going to go ahead and do our Telemon's Lyra. That's probably my favorite instrument to have out. Now, if they do destroy it, that causes a problem, but as you've seen, I have ways of getting things back for this. So now let's go ahead and use our power. If we don't get music, oh, we did. So right now we can discard 2 cards and draw 1 card as our accompany. If we didn't, the accompany part would be wasted, but we got an extra play either way. So let's go ahead and discard 2 cards. We don't need 2 copies of a rhythm. Melodies, actually, we can get away with. We do need to do 1 more discard, though. And I do like that, but unfortunately it's going into the garbage. Okay, so we got some really great cards coming out there. And as you can see, we're setting up. Now, unfortunately, Baron Blade is a card that... or Baron Blade is one that you want to deal damage to rather quickly. But let's take a look at the shield generator. As soon as it lets us... oh, the minions are coming out. And they're going to do 5 damage. That is not nice. Okay. So shield generator, reduce damage dealt to environment targets by 1. I really don't care too much about that. The Baron or Blade Battalion, at the end of the turn, the card deals the hero the highest X melee, where X is the current HP of this card. So even doing a little bit of damage to it would not be that bad. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with Tachyon directly. I really watch a friend play Tachyon, and they do really well at it. We're going to do another speed or fleet of foot and get everyone the cards they need. Next up, let's see. You may play an additional card during your play phase. Yeah, let's get that out. And then we're going to do that, and we're actually going to target the Blade Battalion because that's just too much damage coming at us. And then everyone gets a card. Okay. So now we are here with the Idealist again, and she's going to be our burst heavy damage a lot of the time. But in this case, I'm really torn on what to do, because right now flying stabby knives is a really, really great way to do damage to multiple things, but it's not really going to help us while this force field is on the field, especially while shield generator is down. And so we really need to be looking at anything else we can do. So at the end of your turn, either move a card from under a concept in play under another concept in play, or destroy one concept card with no cards under it. That can be good, but I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. And what we're going to be doing, let's see. Then each non-hero. So great thing about this game, we can just, when it targets everyone, or a group of people, we're just going to do choose for me. Okay. We probably should get this equipment down at the start of your turn. You may either draw a card or put a card from your hand under a concept in play. And the beautiful thing about that is it doesn't say fragment, it says card. Whenever you use a power afterwards, you may put a card from your trash under a concept in play. I really should have played that, but I didn't. Okay. So right now, we are building up. Now, in this case, I'm tempted again to use our arcane cadence, because we're really looking for one specific power, and we got it. Okay, so we're going to put that in our hand, that on top of the deck. We're going to put that in the bottom of our deck, that in the trash, and we're going to play that. Now this allows me activate the perform text and accompany text. In this case, the harmony is going to go off, but I'm going to use a power. Normally, I would use it on the Argent Adept himself, but in this case, we're going to do Void, and she is going to unleash an attack. We're going to get rid of everything, and we're going to just directly deal with the Blade Battalion. Now, we may be keeping his cards down, but we're not doing too well. We're having a lot of setup issue. But I think now that Arjun Adept is going strong with what he needs, we're going to have this be a little bit better. Let's see. So we get 2 plays. We have 2 of these out. That's not good. That's really, really not good. And so let's go and do Fleet of Foot again. And, you know, let's do a little bit of damage. We're not going to do anything to the environments, unfortunately. And we do have this minion out. At the end of the environment turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 separate sources of damage. And this is basically useless to us. We need to get rid of them, but we're going to draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards. Okay. I'm going to discard that. And what else am I going to discard? Tachyon deals 1 target X melee damage, where X is the number of burst cards. It's really what we're going for. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, let's do our power. Every hero draws a card. All right. And then back on over to here. Now this, we are going to want to play this eventually, but we're going to be doing that. We really needed that down. And then let's go ahead and draw. And which one do I want to enter? Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, Void Guard, select a card to move under the... Let's see. Okay, and we are building her attack back up. Now, we're back over here. And remember how our Tielmann's Lyra will play an accompany text? This is going to be where we start getting good. So we use the power, where one hero may use a power. And we do Argent Adept. Now, one thing to note is, in almost every case, except for possibly the Expatriate, you can only ever use 1 power once per round, even if you have multiple sources. So in this case, we're going to do that. Now, this, let's go ahead and pull it from the deck and pull out that. It'll let us use Harmony again. Now we're going to play the accompany text. One other player may play a card. In this case, that's going to be Void Guard the Idealist. And we are definitely going to play that. It's a great fragment. Let's start to let's continue to work on that. And then because we started out with the Lyra, we get to have another player play another card. And again, we're going to go back to the Void Guard. And we're going to do this. Okay. So we went ahead and found multiple fragments. They're all going to... or they're all going to be put into play. Let's keep working on this one. Oops. Okay, click on a card to use its power. Now that would do 4 damage, which would be enough to knock that out. So yeah, let's go ahead and choose for me. So we'll do 1 damage. Actually, it's going to do 8 damage, so that'll be a bit overkill. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go ahead and bring that back. So the Idealist in and of herself is pretty powerful. But she definitely needs support. Okay, that's not bad at all. Now it's Baron Blade's turn. Alright, he's going to do damage to us all. Of course, it gets that again. Let's see, each player discards 1 card. Baron Blade deals each hero target 2 psychic damage, of course. So let's look at discarding cards. Again, bursts would be great. Let's go ahead and discard that. We don't need 2 of those. And as far as discarding cards, we're going to do that because we're sitting pretty well. Okay. Let's see, what do we have next? Tachyon deals each non-hero target 1 psychic or sonic damage. Problem is it won't hit the Brood up there. But that could be very useful. May play 2 cards now. We are going to want to play this. You may play an additional card during your play phase and draw an additional card during your draw phase. That can be really, really good. But we take 2 sonic damage or at the start of our turn. If she takes no damage this way, the card is destroyed. So let's go ahead. We're going to put that in. We can afford the little bit of damage. We're going to play up to 2 cards now. And we have 10 damage coming at. Let's go ahead and destroy that generator because we really need to deal with the environment. Now I'm going to play that. Okay. You know, let's go ahead. We don't need 2 of those. Those are limited. And let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, in this case, we need to confirm. And I targeted the wrong one, but that's okay. Ah, another barrage. Really great. All right. Now let's put a card from hand under a concept. We're going to go ahead, return all cards from under a concept. We don't need that. We're going to play a fragment. You may draw a card, play a concept from your trash into play. Put the top card of your deck under that concept. Yeah, this is great. And now that I can hit multiple characters, I'm actually going to do that. And in this case, I'm going to activate it right away. And we are going to start doing multiple damage. So as you can see, she can hit a lot of targets really well, or one target very hard. And right now that will do 12 damage. If I had a way to boost the damage, that would be amazing. Okay. So looking at this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate this. This will let another player play a card. And then I can play another card. We're going to do Void Guard the Idealist again. And we are going to play Making Things Up. So draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards, any number of concepts, or play any number of concepts from your hand. Okay. We do not need backups of these as of yet. I may regret that. We're going to put that into play. We're going to have another one of those just in case. And another one of those. Because there are times where we may want to destroy a particular concept instead of using it. Okay, so the Idealist deals up to 2 targets to melee damage. Put a card under a concept in play, or put this card. Let's see, that's good. Search your deck for a concept. We don't need that. And of course, deals 1 damage, or 1 target, 1 irreducible damage. You may use a power. I think I'm going to do that. And we're so close. I could just wipe him out by using that power. You know, I think I will. I was going to use the main power, but we're going to just take care of his second platform. Now we can start dealing damage directly. Okay. So we're going to do that. And do that. So that's up to 14 damage total. And remember, that was all off of 1 card from Argent Adept. So now looking at this, we get to play another card. And in this case, we have really what we need to start healing. But it's going to be a slow process getting it onto the field. Because we don't get very many extra plays. Arjun Adept. Okay. And we're going to activate that. And again, the Idealist. Now let's go ahead and get this out front. And then we're going to do this again. To put that fragment down. And in this case, we finally get to damage Baron Blade. And take out the environment minion. Okay. Up to 16 damage. Very nice. Alright, and if you're watching, let me know down below if you like this. Let me know in the chat or in the comments. This is a game we can... Oh, this is not looking good. Let's go ahead and do him because he can self-heal. Let me know if this is a game you want to see more of. Yeah, let's take the 2 damage. That's another reason. She uses health as a currency the moment she plays that. So... let's go ahead and start dealing some damage. Again, we're going to focus on Baron Blade. Focus on his minions. Focus on that darn shield. And then, fortunately, we can stop dealing damage from there. Okay. We get another play. Yeah, let's prevent Baron Blade and his minion from doing any damage to us. That's going to be the best thing that we can do. And then we are going to do 12 damage. That's very impressive to Baron Blade. And then everyone draw a card. Okay. So far, this is working out better than it probably should. Okay, let's throw that under there. We're going to blast Baron Blade. And let's go ahead and finish the minion. And yeah, we're going to put it underneath there. Now, I could do 20 damage and flip him, so I think I will. Actually, 22 damage is a little bit of a waste. So her ramp up, if she has help, is amazing. And he flips over. Now, he says, when flipped to this side, Baron Blade's maximum HP is back up to 30. The villain trash is placed on top of the villain deck. All 3 copies of mobile defense platform are moved to the villain trash. The villain deck is shuffled. At the end of the villain turn, it does 3 damage to the highest hero. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to start up our ramp up again. Oh, making things up is such a great card. Let's go ahead and... destroy a card with no concept under it, or move a card from under a You know what? This is going to hurt us. Okay. So let's use another power. And we're going to use that to start front loading again. And don't forget, we get to do that as well. Alright, now it is our turn again. Just looking through everything we can do. As I said, let's see. We have what we need to start our being a healer. And we just need the final piece, which is this instrument, our Drake's Pipes. But we're not going to get that this turn. So, we're going to go ahead and use a power there. And do that. We're going to play our harp. Use a power there. Do that. And let's go ahead and place that there. Okay, so one other player may play a card. And of course, that goes to the Idealist here. We're going to do making things up. Oh, the monster of id. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and discard that. And we're going to do board now. Okay, so now we get to play a card. Okay. Goodbye, mechanic. And let's go ahead and do that as well. And oh look, we have more accompanies to make. In this case, it must be a harmony. So let's start healing ourselves. And then we're gonna do that. Going to play that. And place it right there. Okay, so now with the Idealist, we're going to put that under there. Monster of Id is a very dangerous card. It's very good, but it's very dangerous. I'm probably going to get rid of it. Okay. Oh, that's not good. No, don't heal him by 10. That's okay. So she's going to take an extra 2 damage. Oh, we're using Team Leader. So I was mentioning earlier that someone else uses Tachyon a lot more than I do. That would be Vidbyson right here. Uses her very well. Alright, Tachyon deals each hero one melee. We are going to want to get this down, but let's see if we have any bursts to play first. Yeah. Okay. And then 14 damage. It is the best kind. There are a couple of heroes I found that don't really need the extra draw, but almost every other hero, vast majority of heroes, benefit from Team Leader Tachyon. Okay, so put a card. We're going to do that. Now, we're not going to do the 22 damage that we needed earlier, but we don't need to. So we're going to go ahead and put that down to get that under there. And then this is all we need. And she would have done another 6 damage for 12 damage. Not as good as her 22 damage. She by far did the most damage, but she could have done that without the support from both Tachyon, letting her draw the cards, and the Argent Adept, which lets her play all of those cards over and over and over again. So there's our play. If you want to see more of this, or if you want to see me go online and do a few online matches, let me know below. Let me know by either commenting, sharing, liking, or of course subscribing. In the meantime, I am Nidanoski. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been such a fun game to play. And as always, have fun.